Yo, what is up, guys? That is the second intro. Okay, what's going on? So, today I'm pretty much going to talk about, if you guys want to get into PC gaming and how you can do it super cheap. Like, check this out. This is my PC in frame right now. It looks like it's broken and it's in pieces, and that's pretty much because it kind of is. So, what we have here is 1,000 watt power supply, which I bought a long time ago from Best Buy. I have a motherboard, which only supplies one PCIe slot, so I can only have one graphics card in at a time. It's not that great. 8 gigs of RAM, which is alright. Quad core processor at 280 gigahertz, and that's pretty much it. And then a 160 gig SATA hard drive. You're probably wondering, dude, what? Let me explain. So, of course, PC parts are expensive, and I bought a laptop recently, and it kind of fried in a thunderstorm, and the battery died, and Acer's kind of garbage to begin with, and you don't really need any of that crap. What you kind of do is you just find parts that you find in the trash. You see a part, you think it's like an old Dell, the gray ones that have no value. Well, I'm using one of their hard drives right now, like a 95 Dell. Boom. 160 gig hard drive. All I need to do is run Windows 8, run WoW, download the streaming service, and play. It's running. I have Windows 8 for free. I could have installed any software really, and boom, you're good to go. Granted, you can't download every game you want, but this is a Frankenstein build. You know, this is nowhere near complete, but it's working so much better than my other build, which is, I don't even know if I can show you, right there in pieces. So that's that. And most of these parts are kind of either found in the trash or I had them laying around, but it's crazy. The motherboard, RAM, and processor inside are from a trash find also. A PC that my ex-girlfriend found. It was an HP. It was one of those like fancy, nice ones with all those like media card slots in the front and everything for like SD and micro SD, all that stuff. It was cute, but I don't really need all that stuff. And it came with 8 gigs and a quad core. 8 gigs of RAM and a quad core processor, and everything worked. And the motherboard worked. So I think that's the best one I got right now. So I popped that in. I have this 3 gig R9 280 GPU, which isn't amazing. Right down there. This big boy, 2 fan, big boy. It's I mean, back in the day, it was like not that expensive. It was kind of expensive, but now they're like $30 on eBay used. It's pretty cheap if you ever want it. It's like so cheap now for like older stuff like this. Now they have like octa-core, 16 core, and like 16 32 gig graphics cards, but you're gonna spend like almost $1,000 or more just on one of them, which may be worth, but we're doing like garbage PC. You want to start playing PC? Start finding this stuff like tomorrow. eBay, Craigslist, you'll find all this stuff within like $100. You got a PC build. All this stuff probably cost me. Well, if I were to buy it now, like nothing. Yeah, we'll go over that too. And then the fans. This is from my buddy's old. The green one is from my buddy's old gaming PC. Still works. That fan is the one on the processor. That blue one is from the 1,000 watt power supply that I bought from Best Buy. And then I just have those 2 fans on the graphics card. I don't have a fan in the front because I didn't feel like it. I don't have a fan on the side because I'm just going to run open case. I don't even have the other side. It's just completely open. I don't even care. It's not overheating. It's not really a problem. It's pretty quiet. I feel like with the other fans it'll be louder. And I have a duster that I plug into the wall, and I can just clean it, so it's not really a big deal. Takes like 5 minutes, so that's pretty sweet. Total cost, right? Man, you can find most of this stuff in something you find in the trash. So if you were to find like a complete HP tower, like a shiny one, like one of those ones I was talking about, with multiple media slots in the front, it says HP. If it runs like Windows 7 or higher, snatch it, because you can pretty much use everything. Guarantee you that thing will already run League of Legends. Probably World of Warcraft too. It's not going to run great. You're probably not going to enjoy it. League of Legends on the lowest setting most likely will run, and games that are lower than that most likely will run as well. But I like to play my games that look like fairly pretty and like least amount of lag as possible. Obviously, just like everyone else, so I try to have like a medium. So you want at least like 2 gigs or graphics card. Anything less just really won't cut it, I don't think. Like maybe 1 gig, like the least, if you're gonna play just League, like on the lowest setting, or any other game, like that's not a web browsing game. Even for web browsing games, you're gonna need a decent amount of RAM too, and bandwidth. Sometimes, if you're playing with a lot of people. Alright, so power supply. If you're going cheapest build in the world, you want to start playing games, you do like a 600 watt power supply. But I recommend getting a high one, because once that 600 watt burns, because they're just garbage, it's just like I have this Corsair one down here, I'll show you. This Corsair one that I don't really remember where I got this one from, to be honest. It's this one right here. I don't really remember where I got that from, but it's a 850 TX 850M. Doesn't glow up or anything, but you know what? I don't like Corsair that much, to be honest. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It just doesn't work right. And obviously, I know how to build PC, because look at mine. It literally is running, and it looks like half a fridge. So, ooh, I don't know what's up with that, but good thing I had this one, and it lights up blue, so it's like lit. Yeah, I don't know how much the power supplies are. Probably about $100. You can probably find one at like Goodwill and like a used case that they have there lying around, or like on eBay someone tries to, but just test it. Put a high load on it before you buy it, because if it kills power, then it is trash-ola. So we got that down. About like $40-$60 power supply, a high-end one. Maybe $100-$120, I think. I don't remember really, but that's probably going to be the most expensive thing. The rest you can find in the trash. When it really comes down to it, you're going to need a higher end power supply, because you have to power your graphics card. So actually, buy a nice power supply. What company is that one? I don't remember. I don't know if it's Corsair again. There's no way. I don't remember. Maybe I could see from the back real quick if it's open back here. No, I don't know. No name, but it's nice. No name. There's a name somewhere, obviously. Just whatever. So, I don't know if that's Corsair. Anyway, the next thing is, if you're finding the HP tower in the trash, you already have your processor, your fan, your motherboard, your RAM, right? Assuming everything's intact. Your hard drive, which is going to be plenty of space with the Windows 8 on it already, most likely. And then graphics card, depending if you like AMD or Intel, depending on if the motherboard is AMD or Intel. You kind of want to match. Like, I prefer Intel over AMD overall because I've had less issues with Intel in general. Like, yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. And not to mention, like, the components on AMD boards are kind of. I don't like them. This one is just, like, pretty easy, and my other one is, like, even easier. My actual quad core i7 that I have with two PCI slots for SLI that for some reason doesn't work. I know it doesn't work. It's because I slammed the case and broke it one day. But whatever. Um, I don't even remember what we're talking about. Power supply, quad core. Yeah, I don't even remember. So, motherboard you're gonna find in the trash. Power supply, CPU you're gonna find. Go on Craigslist or eBay. You want to find like a graphics card that matches your motherboard. You're probably gonna find an Intel because most HPs and Dells have Intel. So I would just do that and get like a GeForce or EVGA or something like that. I know this is AMD R9. I don't really like it. I bought it because it was like cheaper and it was the most gig-ish for the value. But I don't love it. GeForce is the way to go, in my opinion. You want something that cools nice too. Something that has good amount of power support, where you could plug in like a nice power supply, so it has enough power to support two fans that can kind of cool on its own. Like normally, if I had a single smaller fan graphics card, especially SLI that they were like super close together and you can't even get enough airflow, this would be unacceptable. But these fans down here, I mean, look at that, dude. You could put that behind a boat, you know what I mean? Like that's, the airflow is just, it's blowing cool, and I have WoW open and everything. I mean, it's literally blowing cool. It's not even hot. It's really nice. Super nice airflow. Super good. I bet if I had more RAM in this setup, I would be better off because I'm bottlenecking this graphics card, I think. Cool. So about 35, 55, 65 bucks, something like that for yourself for one of these graphics cards, right? And you have ports over there at the end to SLI them. So if you have a motherboard with two PCI Express slots, you can SLI them both and have 6 gigs of video memory for like less than $100. Honestly, that is probably the way to go instead of buying a new gen. That's crazy, dude. That's so good. So in the long run, power supply and motherboard are probably the most important things because you can always upgrade the smaller components like processor, heatsink and fan, RAM obviously, and graphics card. Like fans, pretty much like never kind of burn. I never really had a fan burn, and for when it's worth, even when the fan gets damaged and it makes noises, I still use it if I need a fan that fits there. Nothing else I have or whatever. Like who cares? Just put the fan. You know what I mean? It's better than overheating. Just put the fan. If it's that annoying, buy a new fan. But just slap it around again. It'll be fine. You'll be alright. Definitely cleaning the PC is the most important thing too. Without cleaning it, it's definitely going to overheat. You notice how this thing looks dirty because it's just like all old metal that's been exposed. That's what's going to happen. Sorry about that. Yes. But all exposed metal and whatnot, well, it's actually super clean in there. It has no dust. It's cool. So yeah, that's the build. Hard drive. I definitely recommend getting an SSD, and you probably want to get a big one too, and they're kind of expensive, but so don't get too big of one. But like 500 gigs, if you're gonna play 1 or 2 games, a few hundred gigs is fine. But if you're just gonna like really want this computer to be like half trash, half kind of want to play all the games I want, I don't care if it's like best quality, then get a higher end thing. But you really want to enjoy your games, so try not to go like try not to have expectations. Like this build, I can't play all the games, you know. Um, when I don't stream, I can definitely put my settings a lot higher and really enjoy WoW. But when I'm streaming, it's I definitely have to dumb them down a bit, or else it's just not smooth and I can't even like be good. So there's no point in having gameplay. Yeah, it's dope. So that's pretty much it, and that's how you game for cheap. So overall, this thing cost me like a few $100, and I'm playing World of Warcraft. That's not like an insanely intense game, but for example, if you have a laptop like that, you're definitely not playing World of Warcraft, and you're definitely not doing it as smooth as I am, at least. You know. So this is probably $150. This laptop, you know, give or take. This is give or take that right now too. And I did have, I can make it look pretty, put all the panels on and everything, but I don't need to if I'm going to just be building this as I go anyway. Eventually when it gets pretty, I'll make it look good. If anyone wants tips or wants me to build them a PC, actually, I don't want to do that. I'm not that good. Tips, yes. Building a PC, no. Because there's a lot of things that sometimes don't work in software and updates, and I just don't want to be responsible for any of that stuff. It's annoying. For the most part, tips are good. Like, what's better, you know? Like, what's better? I'll definitely give you the most efficient answer. Like, for example, I want water cooling, but my budget's low. Well, you don't really need water cooling if your budget's low. Your fan could do all those things. Just have a good case. Have a good case. Keep your room clean, like no dust, and just keep the case and parts clean. Unplug it. Make sure there's no power going in. Hit the switch. Take it outside. Dust it off with one of those plug-in wall things. And don't let the fans spin when they're doing it either, because it's going to create power and short stuff. Hold the fans down so they don't spin, and just hit all those metal fins in there and get all that dust out. That's pretty much it. You can take it to a place and they can do it for you and charge you a bunch, or you can just do it. If you want me to make like a tutorial on that, I definitely can too. That's cool. Yeah, I guess this is pretty much just a video of me talking about PC stuff, looking at a PC. I wonder if it would have been better looking at me the whole time talking. Yeah, so, you know, that's pretty much what I'm saying, guys. Alright, where's the camera? Word. So, that's pretty much what I'm saying. That's the PC build. And, yeah, hope you liked the video. Subscribe. Give me some money for tips. I need money for tips. Just money. Okay, I'm new at this, so I don't really know how an outro yet. I'm just gonna do the outro now. That's the outro. Outro. Psh. Bye. Outro. Random hand out of nowhere.